Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bruce Wayne.
And my ward, Dick.
Grayson. You always leave the Grayson off.
Welcome to Reviews on the Run.
Not cool, man.
Today on Reviews on the Run, The Dark Knight has returned to clean up the streets as we celebrate the release of Batman Arkham City. Grab a cape and cowl, load up the utility belt, and turn on the bat signal. We're about to enter Gotham City.
Batter up!
Well, if you're a fan of Reviews on the Run, then you know full well that my co-host here, Victor Lucas, is about as excited as a human being can be.
It seems like it's my birthday today. It's all Batman today?
It's all Batman today, my friend. Now I understand there was a petition when you were a younger man to had something to do with it.
I petitioned the station that we're actually on in Vancouver. It's City TV now, but it used to be called CKVU. I asked them to play.
How old were you?
About 11. I asked them to play the old Batman TV show starring Adam West because I used to watch it in Windsor, Ontario.
Okay.
And I was wondering why it wasn't on the air here, so I got a little petition together.
How many signatures did you
13.
get?
13. And
did your mom sign it?
Yeah, my mom was one of them. And they sent me back a nice letter saying, sorry, we're going to stick with our Spider-Man animated show. I was so angry.
Let's get the Batman party started with our review of Batman Brave and the Bold. Victor Lucas, as the world's biggest, most famous Batman fan, what'd you make of the Wii version?
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was terrific and loaded with lots of cool character and a great connection to the animated series, which I'm also a huge fan of.
Isn't that a little obvious?
Visually, I was really kind of disappointed in this game. I expected as a game that already has its assets in place.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have to generate anything. They already have the visual look of the game. I expected something that looked like a playable cartoon, and I've just seen so much better looking Wii games, especially from Way Forward, guys that I really admire. Boy and His Blob, terrific game.
Yeah, but
I just expected
know
a little
if
bit
Boy
more.
and His Blob had more interesting eye candy. It was just a different artistic look, and I kind of agree with you. They did have a lot of their assets already evolved for them and developed for them. It's all sprite-based. It's not polygons. It's very much like a classic 16-bit scrolling beat-em-up. But what they've done, obviously, it's in 16:9 widescreen, and there's
It doesn't look that good.
There's more frames of animation. It doesn't look as good as it could. Absolutely.
That's what I felt.
It doesn't hold up to like a Metroid Other M or anything
I
like that.
expected to be blown away by the visuals in this game, but I thought that the visuals were a little disappointing.
I would definitely agree with you with some of the backgrounds. I mean, I was jumping through a rocky cliff area, and I couldn't tell what ground I could actually leap onto, and I thought that was a little bit
The jumping's
it looks
a little
so bland.
floaty too, right?
Yeah, the jumping is a little bit floaty. It's not perfect. It's not classic Mario or classic Metroid or something like that, but it's decent, and there is enough variety in Batman's moves specifically, and each of the characters that you can play as. You get 5 in total. You get Batman, of course, but Robin, Hawkman, Blue Beetle, and Guy Gardner, one of the Green Lanterns, is also playable, and all of them have their own skill sets.
Again, having not seen the show itself, I was really kind of impressed with some of the writing and some of the innuendo and the way that Robin implies that Batman can't help himself from chasing after Catwoman and stuff like that. I mean, some of it's really genuinely funny.
He was one of the greatest heroes I've ever known, and a good friend.
Oh.
You're pretty good too.
Vic and I actually did have a chance to spend time on screen simultaneously.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna play this game,
That's the way you play it,
And that's the only way to play it. Even if you're a hardcore Batman fan like you are, the way to get the most bang for your buck for this game is the co-op play, and that's really when the game comes to life.
It's just in 2010, you want more for that $50.
You know what, Vic? I'm gonna score this up for you right now. 5.5 from me. I'm a little let down.
I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10.
There you go.
Hi, this is Diedrich Bader. I just wanted to tell you, this is going to show what a geek I am, but I like watching mysteries, and they just did a new Murder on the Orient Express. I have to say, it's a masterpiece. David Suchet does, he plays Poirot on PBS.
The murderer must still be with us, gentlemen, on the train.
Check it out. The acting is incredible. The direction is fantastic. They took the script in a really interesting direction, and I just really highly recommend it.
So whenever we do Spider-Man on the show, we always do one thing.
Yeah.
Do a Batman move. Go.
Well, he grabs the Batarang, throws it.
Lame.
Still to come, The Dark Knight gets the Lego makeover. Batman has an arsenal of apps. And the inmates take over the city. But after the break, return to Arkham Asylum.
We are going to get right to Batman Arkham Asylum. This game is just absolutely amazing. They hired Paul Dini, step one for a fantastic decision right there.
I know who Paul Dini is.
Amazing writer. And
Yes.
then they get Kevin Conroy to be Batman. They
Yes.
get Mark Hamill to be the Joker,
Yes.
which are as distinctive voices as have been, these characters ever in the past.
Hey, Sharpie. Love what you've done with the place.
And they've really nailed the vibe and the gothic creepiness in this game so well. And it's not like the animated series, which is where they could have gone. They could have made it a little bit lighter and a little bit more kid-friendly. This is a dark Batman game, and that's why I loved it.
What I felt like they got right with this game is I think the scale of the game has to match the superhero. For example, if you look at Spider-Man, when the Spider-Man games got great, it's because you had this huge open environment to really feel like Spider-Man in. But Batman's not that kind of character. He doesn't need a whole world to roam around in. He needs narrow hallways. He needs little acts that he can be most effective at. This is his world.
I think they could have easily have made an open world Gotham City.
Oh, they could have added driving levels
and had but you know what? That could be a great way to grow this franchise, and I would love to see that game happen. But it has to maintain this fidelity and this level of love and real kind of ownership of the characters and like really understanding what the mythos is about. I mean, this is why this game succeeds. Yes, they hemmed it in, but they kept it true. We've only been talking about the storytelling and the visuals and all that stuff so far. What's terrific about the way this game plays, it pulls from Metal Gear Solid and Metroid and Splinter Cell and BioShock, all these fantastic, really pivotal games in the history of video games, and it pulls the best from each of these titles and it wraps it around inside the Batman universe and the Batman mythos.
Yeah, the combat engine is one of the best I've ever seen. But and you're right, and I just want to make another comment about it's a nice mix of the cerebral and the visceral.
Yes.
He's a thinking man superhero more than any other superhero, and the game is not afraid to put you in a situation to solve a puzzle.
They killed themselves to make this game. It's so obvious. This stands up with the best games I've ever played.
It really is. It's really great.
What are you giving it?
I'm gonna give it a 9.5.
I'm straight up 10, man.
I know.
This
I saw it coming.
Absolutely.
Man, it's good to see Arkham Asylum on our show again. It's been about 3 weeks since we had Arkham and I'm giving the game a 10 out of 10 again.
I still can't stop playing this game, and we're coming up with our Arkham City review soon enough. But right now it's time for Steve Tilley and Raju Ludar to take a look at some Bat apps.
It's safe to say that Batman has permeated every facet of pop culture. I'm using big words now. We're gonna look at some Batman-related apps, starting with a comic book app that my friend here is a big fan of, being the huge comics nerd that he is.
Yeah, and I think this is a really interesting time to be chatting about this. We're talking about the DC Comics app. Now, really, this is just a skin of the Comixology app, which is basically the iTunes of comic selling right now.
It totally is.
And it works fabulously.
And it sure does.
Now, the thing that's neat right now is that DC has basically rebooted all of its comics. So now is a great time to get in. They're calling it the New 52. I think there's 3 Batman comics in it, including Detective Comics. And even in one of them, Batman and Catwoman, they get all hot and heavy.
What?
So, yeah.
I'm fairly new to the Comixology app. We sort of looked at it, I think, briefly before. I love it. I mean, there goes my wallet. There goes my money. There goes my allowance for this week. I'm spending it all on digital comic books. And if you're a DC fan, this app in particular has got basically all your bases covered.
The other really good thing that they're doing is with a new relaunch, they're actually doing same day and date iPad publishing, which is something that they've been having issues with. They wanted you to buy the comic first and then possibly get the digital. I mean, Comixology is a great app. The DC version of it is a great app. I have to give this an 8.5.
I'd give it a 9 out of 10.
The second app we're looking at is the Dark Knight app. Now, I like this. This is sort of the neat extras on a Blu-ray, but in app form.
Yeah, I think this is a great idea. I don't often download movies from iTunes because you just get the movie when you do that. With this self-contained app, you're getting the movie, you're getting a lot of the extras that are on the DVD, you're getting photos, you're getting interactive quizzes. It's really it's a great way to present a movie on the iPad. And although The Dark Knight's been out a while and maybe you don't want to buy it now, it's only $10.
So why do they call him the Joker? I heard he wears makeup. Makeup? Yeah, to scare people. War paint.
I think it's a great idea. I would like to see more movies do this kind of thing. And if you're a fan of The Dark Knight, this is a great way to own the movie on the iPad.
Absolutely. It's a pretty great app. I'm going to give it an 8.
Give it an 8 out of 10. Last and most definitely least, we're looking at the Adam West app for the iPhone. This is part of the Star Greets line of apps. And these are basically apps in which you can get a celebrity, such as Adam West, to record a personal message, send a personal greeting to somebody. You enter the name of the person you want to send it to, enter your own name. choose a line or two, and then Adam West says it either on video or in an audio file that you can put on your phone.
According to my sensors, you're getting a call. Be careful. It might be an evildoer bent on chaos.
And if you like it, you can buy it for $3.
Is this message surprising? Yes. Is it ridiculous? Yes. Enjoy.
When you make one of these, they're kind of fun to watch, but actually paying for it,
yeah.
I just can't see a reason to do it.
It's just obviously stitched together from things you've selected, though. It's not even really smooth. It doesn't really work that well.
It's a 5.
Yeah, I don't love Adam West that much. 5 out of 10.
All right, Bat fan, what do you do when an enemy has pointy things above his head? What's
Counter.
that mean?
Counter. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, throw them around a bit.
All right, you're proving your mettle as a Bat fan. I accept that.
We'll be right back.
Still to come, Batman plays Gotham City games. The Cape Crusader battles the inmates. But coming up next, Bat Blocks. Welcome back, Batmaniacs, to our all-Batman episode of Reviews on the Run. It is a Bat celebration.
I know, good for you, my friend. When are we going to have a show that's tailor-made just for me?
Every other day is for you.
Okay, today is for you, though.
That's right.
Now, when you're walking down the street and you see another Batmaniac, how do you greet one another?
Like this. We don't say hello, though, because Batman's not that nice.
You go, Joker must be behind this.
He does. Here's a look at Lego Batman. It's a reboot with Ben and Jose.
You know, there have been a lot of Batman games over the years, Jose.
A lot of bad ones.
There have been a lot of bad ones, and today, obviously, we're going to be seeing what is hopefully not a bad one in Arkham City.
I've been playing it all week. What do you think?
No, you haven't. You've been playing Lego Batman because we're rebooting that game today.
You get to play as heroes in this game, Batman and Robin, obviously, but I miss the ability to take over other characters besides the main characters, like you could in all the other previous Lego games.
Yeah, this is centering very much, at least initially, on Batman and Robin. And the interesting thing about Lego Batman is, unlike the other Lego games, it's not based on a particular version of Batman. Instead, you just get sort of a tale that's told without any text or speech because it's all miming. And
they do throw some funny bits in there. You know, they're always messing around with Robin. He's always doing something stupid or like falling off.
Yeah, Robin's the jerk at this game.
You know?
Can't get anything right. I really like the way the game is set up, where initially you play Batman and Robin, and there's a caper you have to solve with the Riddler, who's up to no good. And then after you beat that first section, you then can go back and forth playing as villains or playing as Batman and Robin. I mean, this game, serves its purpose, which was to give Batman fans a Lego game. I don't think it's the best Lego game we've seen.
Yeah.
This is still the same. You bash the guys, you collect all the Lego bricks, and then you build little things. I got stuck on a lot of levels. I was really surprised at how obtuse some of the puzzles were.
Yeah, I was going to say that as well. It's sort of easy to be able to not figure out what you're supposed to be able to do.
That was a crazy thing to say.
You know what I mean? Most of the Lego games, it's pretty straightforward.
I'm still working on this. It's easy to not be able to figure out
what you're supposed to do.
I don't know what happens when you have 4 double negatives in a row. I think it's a positive.
No, it happens. In most of the Lego games, it's so easy to realize what you're supposed to do. In this game, it's easy to figure out that you're lost because you just don't know what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, and mechanically, it's not the world's greatest game as well. Some of those jumps are a little hard to make. Things are very, very close. I mean, on some of the platforming sections, it's hard to gauge the depth because there's a little bit of a 3D thing going on.
Batman would know where to jump.
To me, I don't think it's the best Lego game. We've seen better ones since then, but if you're a Bat fan, and we know at least one of you is, Victor Lucas, you're going to have a blast with this one.
It's Lego Batman. I'm giving it a 7 out of 10.
I agree with you. 7 out of 10 for me as well.
Now, Batman, he is really just a man, but he is smart.
That's why he's so cool. Anybody could become Batman.
You know what he can do? He can do anything. He can even go onto the iPad.
Yes, you can.
One of the more fun Batman adventures over the last few years has been Lego Batman. I absolutely love that game. And here we're talking about Lego Batman Gotham City games for the iOS.
This is a bunch of mini games.
It is.
I didn't realize that jumping into it, even though it says Gotham City Games. And for 99 cents, there was a few mini games here, but I'm not sure if it's completely worth it because some of the mini games were a little bit broken.
Yeah, a lot of this is mainly about the presentation, the fact that there are Batman characters in this game.
I love the little stories. The stories are hilarious. For that alone, I would say pick up the game just because I was laughing out loud. It was a lot of fun.
What's strange is that the mini games are somewhat diverse, and there's really no good explanation before you go in. There's instructions like, okay, this is what you have to do, but the game doesn't tell you how to do it. We've got this Killer Croc mini game where there's leaky pipes, and he's just trying to sleep. Poor guy.
Just leave him alone. He wants to sleep.
And so all this water's coming into his underground sewer lair. Who would have thought, you know, you live in a sewer, God forbid there be leaky water somewhere.
But that's the thing, you don't know what you're supposed to do. You just see the pipes bursting. You see the hole there, so I guess I'll
Just
touch
put your finger on the hole.
Right, and so you plug it, and then you take it off, and the hole's still there. You don't realize that you have to keep your finger there until you have little Lego pieces popping out. That means that you've successfully plugged the lead. But that mini game actually worked in the sense of iOS controls. There was other games like Pinball that didn't really seem to work that well.
Poor Penguin he's all concerned in the story that everything's getting destroyed, but thank God his pinball table is safe, and then you actually get to play his pinball table, and it's terrible. He shouldn't care about it. I do like it on the fact that it is Batman, and they really did represent the characters well as Lego pieces. There's nice little animated comics in between the stages, but it's not what it should be.
Maybe this is just for kids. If you have kids at home and you want them to get into Batman, maybe Lego Batman, just to pull them in to the franchise, to the series, this might be the game.
Yeah, there's no sense in even having kids if you're not going to get your kids into Batman. Let's just put that out there. I'm giving it a 6.5 out of 10.
I'm giving it a 6.
I don't know how you feel, but I would not mind more Lego Batman action.
I wouldn't either. Lego Batman 2.
Yes.
Well, unfortunately, we have to switch into detective mode because there's a commercial around here somewhere.
Yeah, you gotta go find that?
Yep.
Coming soon to Reviews of Laurent, take to the battlefield. The Three Musketeers fight for justice. James Bond reloads GoldenEye. And tomorrow on the show, it's All for One. But after the break, cats versus bats.
I figured you could use my help, Selena.
You're right. I think I chipped a nail back there.
Hold tight.
Welcome back to Reviews on the Run. I'm standing here with my friend Victor Lucas, one of the world's biggest Batman fans.
Right.
And I didn't really even understand what a huge fan you are of Batman until I went to your house. I saw all of your action figures. We got Batman Arkham Asylum a couple years ago. Now we got Arkham City. This is from the same team at Rocksteady. Victor Lucas, I want you to weigh in with how you feel about this game. Go ahead.
We all wanted to see Rocksteady rise up and deliver something.
And how do you top what they made the first time around?
That beat what they did with Arkham Asylum. And I think what they did this time was equally as intelligent in the scope of its design, and they didn't go farther than their reach. And that's what they've done again with this game. It's big, it's epic, it's huge, but it's intricate, and it's really well orchestrated, really well designed.
What I worried about with this game is going with the full-blown city scales, that it was going to be too big, and that it was just going to feel like, well, any superhero could be in this game. It doesn't have to be Batman, and I was worried that we would lose the skulking in the vents.
What's different now is that you have a lot more areas that you can hide in. So there's a great number of buildings that you're going to be gliding to and grapple hooking up to, but then there's lots of areas that feel similar to what you experienced in Arkham Asylum, only with a little bit more detail, a little bit more panache. It's a veritable rogues gallery running through this, and Batman, I think, has the best villains out of any comic book hero, and you get almost all of them in this game.
Well,
it's incredible.
You can't have great villains without a great superhero.
I know.
They really have to offset one another.
And you had other villains in Asylum as well. It's just here, everything has been amped up. Everything's a little bit larger. And it just feels perfect. It feels precise, and I felt like I was being gifted as a Batman fan with every successive new area that I got to explore and every new character. This is Batman's game, and he feels like a badass. The writing is fantastic. They deliver so much in this game. You have tons and tons of side missions and a really epic main central story mode. There's lots of great cameos all the way through.
Surprised to see me, Batman?
Sometimes the game looks amazing, for sure, and then other times it seems like the engine is kind of faltering a little bit.
Are you just trying to piss me off?
No.
You're just trying to make me angry.
I'm not.
You're just saying things to
I'm
just like
saying,
rile me
no,
up.
I'm just
the
saying
game looks freaking incredible.
Why are you so mean?
You were playing it on the 360. I was playing it on the PS3. I was absolutely astounded by the level of fidelity.
You're going to blame the 360
I don't
on
know.
this?
I mean, the PS3 looked incredible to me. They have snow effects through the entire thing. They have explosions at the top of buildings, and Batman leaps out.
And there's all kinds of secrets and layers to the city itself that you can dig down into.
This is a perfect game, man. Come
not a
on,
perfect
seriously. This is a perfect
very
video
good game.
game. This is my favorite game. I mean, this has supplanted Red Dead Redemption. I love Red Dead. I will always love Red Dead, but this is a better game. This is incredible, to be honest. I think this is some of the strongest Batman myth-making I've ever seen.
It's glorious, isn't it?
What are you giving it?
I'm going to give it a 9.5.
9.5? I'm giving it a 12 out of 10.
Can't give it a 12.
I'm giving it a 12.
Today on the show was all about The Dark Knight as Stephen Raju looked at Batman apps. DC Comics is essentially a reskinned version of Comixology's app, but it's absolutely great for DC fans. Jose and Ben built Gotham and Lego Batman the video game, a great collection of playable characters, but the depth perception problems make it difficult to navigate and jump. Sean and Marissa played Gotham City games with Lego Batman. The motion comic intros are cool, but the mini games feature poor instructions and feel broken. Finally, Scott and I became the Cape Crusader in Batman Arkham City, more awesome than Arkham Asylum with a fantastic story and terrific voiceovers. And that's why Batman Arkham City is the Rogers must-buy of the day, and in fact, for me, it's the must-buy of the year. So there you go, I've got a new favorite game now. Red Dead is put to bed for a little while.
That's it?
That's it,
Wow.
yeah.
So this is going to be the game I'm going to hear about week in and week out, day in and day
Until
out.
they put Batman in the Wild West, and then that will be my
Terrific job, Rocksteady. And listen, if you want to see more reviews, action, you can go to reviewsontherun.com where we're open 24 hours a day. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter, Reviews on the Run, all one word. This man is Victor_Lucas on Twitter, and he's very happy these days.
I really am. This is Scott C. Jones on Twitter.
Pretty happy too.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
You must show you are willing to take a life to save the world.